Just want to greet you all, greet all the listeners. So, Mikey G, you get it to an extent because you mentioned, a part of the name.
All right.
But, so I'm Stanley. I go by the name DC Praise as my ministry name. But DC Praise is just simply dedicated Christian of praise. I'm a person who loves to praise the Lord in everything that I do. So I'm a singer, songwriter. I'm an artist. I do a little bit of production as well, and I also, do events as well.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
yes. So DC
Great.
Praise is a person who all my music has something to do with praising God.
I like it. Dedicated Christian praise. And what comes to my mind immediately is what's in a name. And your name certainly bespoke what it is that you're all about, praise.
Yes.
And how long have you been praising, DC?
All right. So I got saved from I was 12. So I started my Christian journey very early. Has been a challenge, but from a tender age or from birth, I was told that when my mom was in advanced state pregnancy, I was kicking the belly. So there were signs that there was gonna be, either I'm gonna play music, sing, dance, or something.
Yeah.
So it's from that early stage.
I would want to chime in here and just talk about just the fact that he has named himself DC Praise, or just the fact, Curly Karen just segue to the naming. I would just look at the power of what names do to an individual. Let's take, for example, a name like Jezebel. When we listen to names, do they really matter? And that's a big question that has been on the agenda for many years. Persons have looked at it and says, no, it don't make any difference what you call somebody, but just by renaming yourself DC Praise, it has sparked a new life in you and a new challenge for you to achieve something different. And I would suggest that names to our listeners and wider audience this morning, that the names that you give to your children is very important, because DC Praise have a name. But just to get into what he truly would represent, the name DC Praise would have to be that representation in this fullest sense. And so I just want to lock that in there. That's what I hear from you. That's what I heard in the conversation this morning. And of course, I'm going to be listening more to how did you get into all of this, kicking the belly and all.
Yes. So my father is now deceased, but he is a wonderful singer. He's one of the person who I heard as one individual singing, and I'm hearing so many sounds. So growing up, I aspired to be like him, and but I find my own sound, my own uniqueness to, my own craft. So he's a singer, songwriter, but I'm a singer DJ. So I sing J. So I find my own, vibes and versatility to bring across what I want to. And it's so funny, Mikey G, that as a artist or a minister, I have to be very careful, because as you mentioned the name, the name itself have person thinking, looking, what will you bring as that individual with that name, so before I even become DC Praise, I wanted to be DJ Praise, because everybody has a DJ to their name. And unfortunately, somebody stole the name DJ Praise, and I forget about music, and I just leave it alone. But I found myself just keep on writing. I kept on writing about my personal experience, everything that I go through. I write about it. So with that said, most of my songs are personal experience, are just God getting the praise, so to speak. So I remember when, I heard a voice spoke to me and said, listen, it's not about you. You're glorifying me. So just do what I would want you to do, and I will take care of everything.
Wow.
And I could make a distinction to know that, this was God speaking. And I said, God, but I've been hurt. I've been trying. Nobody played my music, no support. It doesn't make sense. It better I just do a regular 9 to 5 and, move on with my life. And then, I said, all right, tell you what, give me a name. And I heard DC Praise, and he said, the praise in your name is just to glorify me. It's not so much about your name.
Oh, that is absolutely a great testimony, DC Praise. A quick question. How long have you been recording music? It sounds to me that you've always been in the music space, but how long have you been recording music?
So I've been recording from high school, but it was trial and error. But I started to record professionally, I think, from 2001.
Wow.
And it is so funny that the first recording was from a secular studio, and when I went there, I didn't have that experience of the big studio, but the welcome and the love that I received from the secular artists like the Mama Nancy and some other, because it was Kilimanjaro studio in Kingston. And, the respect that they showed me as a young guy, when I go to the studio, they stopped smoking. Everybody was Christian is here. We have to out our slave. We got to throw him. And these were the person who also coached and cultured me. Mama Nancy cultured me how to sing the vocals, how to project, and so forth. And I found that so amazing. So I say that to say this, that when the Lord is taking you on a journey for ministry, He will also take you to places where others will not go. But He already spread the table for you, so you don't have to worry. Because sometimes we will be in our why moment and say, but God, I'm a child of God. Why are you sending me there? And but sometimes we just have to just be obedient and go. So that was my ground 2001, and then everything evolves.
You mentioned this morning a very interesting piece, and we read the Bible all the time, and we miss these very important topics, these point of views. When you say this a while ago, DC Praise, about being groomed and basically mentored in a way to do gospel by the Egyptians. Moses had the same experience,
Definitely.
Moses became Moses Moses was trained by the Egyptians to be a great leader. And this is where God sometimes put his people to be trained for his people to bring the message that